So, if we're all going to go on this journey together, we need to really start to talk about the key metrics here, the key vocabulary, if you will, so we're all on the same page. This is going to be a very easy video, not a lot of technical concepts. It really comes down to just that, just vocabulary. What exactly am I talking about? What does that mean for this overall process? Basically, what happens is a lot of people take the exact same terms and use them in different ways. So what I want to do is just kind of start with that nice baseline. So at planningfire.com, we're talking about living the financial independence and retiring early lifestyle. So what is financial independence? Honestly, that's the key one. It seems like it'd be very similar to retiring early. However, what financial independence is to me, it's the ability to just not have to worry about money on a day-to-day basis. You're free from that burden. You're not so wealthy that money's not a factor anymore. House is paid off, loans are paid off, you have more money coming in than you know what to do with, and you can do whatever you want with it. That's not what financial independence is to me. Financial independence is just having the ability to have this mindset that you don't necessarily need your job, you don't necessarily need your stream of income, you can change it easily and still survive comfortably. But the craziest thing about people in my age bracket, say 25 to 35, heck, even older, 45, 50, I would say 99.999% of all people don't love what they do. Quite honestly, you don't need to. That's one of the things that I don't necessarily buy into. You have to be able to tolerate it, and it has to be able to pay the bills. However, if you're not financially independent, you may wake up one day and get laid off, or you may end up having this drastic change happen. Say your spouse got a great job elsewhere and you have to move, but now you have to find new work. If you're not financially independent, you may have to evaluate different job opportunities that aren't correct for you, and you may have to take the first thing that comes your way, even if something much better would have come down the pipe a couple weeks later because you need to feed your family. The thing about job satisfaction is it really doesn't matter how happy you are with your job. You still have bills to pay, whether that's mortgages, rents, insurance, car payments, internet bills, you name them. There's tons of them. Problem is right now, your average American citizen has about $5,200 in savings. That, realistically speaking, is not going to last you very long if you are currently unemployed. So, just an example, if your rent is $1,000 and your other bills are about $1,000 a month, you're looking at only 2.5 months of being able to find and do a job search. So really, that financial independence is what's going to drive you to be able to succeed in these goals. You can take your time, you can find the right fit, you can look for the appropriate job. I mean, at some point you may even be able to go into early retirement, which kind of brings us to that second term, early retirement. Early retirement is exactly what it sounds like. It's the ability to kick your feet up, put everything down and retire early. Going from having a job to not having to have a job anymore. So early retirement is not really the goal for me. As far as FIRE is concerned, I put much more value in the actual financial independence aspect of FIRE as opposed to the early retirement section. I personally like working. I like what I do. Also, I like having my brain engaged. I don't think I'd ever be able to shut down for a long period of time. When I travel, for example, I much prefer to go hiking and backpacking than going to a resort and just kicking my feet up. Not to say that's not fantastic, it's just my personal preference. Really, the reason that I prefer the financial independence aspect of this, I love information technology. I love how it's always changing, it's always developing, there's something new going on at all times. But in reality, 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, who knows, I may no longer want to keep up with the rat race. And it certainly can be a lot of work. So if I decide, hey, I want to go into renewable energy research as an analyst or a tier 1 researcher, I know I'm not going to be making very much money. Probably take a massive pay cut to do it. But in reality, if it makes me feel good and I know I'm contributing to society, that pay cut is well worth it. And maybe someone will be willing to take a chance on me because of my background. So I go into something else that's new, that's engaging, and still able to maintain my lifestyle because at this point, I don't necessarily work for the money anymore. Now I get to work for the experience. So that's personally the vocabulary that I think is necessary to have these conversations. Financial independence, that ability to really do what you want, focus on your future however you see fit, and then early retirement is once you've achieved financial independence and you've put enough away, you can pack it up and retire. You can do whatever you want, work, not work, travel, read books all day, watch TV, It's really up to you. Now that we have the vocabulary down, the coming videos are going to be more related to different steps in that process. Talk to you soon.